Cheevo, guys!
What up, guys? This is
Cheevo, guys!
back here again with another achievement guide. Today, we're going to be focusing on Octonaut. This game was published by EastAsiaSoft and it was developed by Joseph Calabro. This game has 14 achievements and offers 1000 gamer score. In terms of the time for completion, I'd say it's going to take about 45 minutes to an hour and a half depending on your skill. Most of the EastAsiaSoft published games have pretty easy achievements and don't really require you to get past the first boss. Usually you can just beat the first boss over and over again to get the achievements. However, with this one, it's going to be a bit different. So the game has 8 levels and we have to get to and complete level 6 to get the full completion or platinum trophy. This is because we get an achievement or trophy every other boss. So each level has a boss. So the first boss, you're not going to get an achievement. The second boss, you are going to get an achievement. You get achievements for defeating the second boss, the fourth boss, and the sixth boss. So yeah, guys, we are going to have to complete about 75% of this game. There's no cheats, no difficulty settings or anything like that. We're just going to have to play the game on default and get about 75% into it. Now, you can see how many lives you have on the upper right-hand side of the screen. If you die once, you start at the beginning of that level. However, if you lose all of your lives, you will have to start the game over again. Now, you can pick up additional lives as you're playing. You just have to kill some enemies, and sometimes they'll drop additional lives. Lives look exactly like your character, a little orange octopus. So as you can tell, this is a shoot 'em up game. You get an achievement for defeating 50 enemies, 500 enemies, and then 1000 enemies. So make sure that you're shooting all of the enemies that you can. Not just because we want the kills, but because they drop items sometimes. First item I want to talk about is the diamonds. So they'll drop a diamond and the diamond will always start green. Now every time you shoot the diamond, it changes colors. And I believe there's 5 different colors total. The reason I'm telling you this is because there is an achievement for collecting 12 diamonds of each of these colors. So just keep in mind, these diamonds just aren't dropping random colors. They change colors as you shoot them. So, to collect the violet diamonds, you're going to have to shoot 12 diamonds 5 times and then collect them. After you get your 5 achievements related to the colored diamonds, I would just work on defeating as many enemies as you can and progressing through the game. You should get the other collectible achievements naturally. You get one for collecting 20 cakes, and then you get another one for collecting 30 Gashapon capsules. The capsules are like specialty weapons. These capsules change the type of bullets that you're shooting. You can see if you have a capsule collected on the lower left-hand side of the screen. The symbol represents what type of ammunition it is. To activate one of these capsules and change your projectile type, you have to press X. Now, we need to collect 30 of these capsules to get the achievement. You do not need to activate 30, you just need to simply collect 30. Now, the best type of capsule or ammunition that you can collect is going to be the bomb projectile. So as soon as you get a bomb, I recommend activating it just because the bombs do a ton of damage. After that, I do not recommend activating any other capsules just because the bombs are going to help breeze your way through the rest of the game, or at least until level 7. Because again, we have to get to level 6 and complete level 6. And each of these levels have a boss at the end of them, guys. So we're going to have to defeat 6 bosses total. Now, just in case you're having any difficulties facing any of these bosses, I'm going to include footage of me defeating all 6 bosses. I also want to point out that you can shrink yourself down to dodge by holding the left trigger. I think there's another button that you can use for shrink, but I was using the left trigger. Now, shrinking yourself down will give you about like a half second of invincibility. Not only that, but it shrinks you down to a small size for just a few seconds and you're able to dodge a lot easier. Now, using your shrink down skill isn't totally necessary in the beginning levels of the game. However, once you advance to the later levels, you're definitely going to be using it a lot. Now, you can't just spam shrink back to back. I think there's like a couple second cooldown before you can use it again. It feels like it's about 2 seconds before you're able to shrink down again. But yeah, guys, If you didn't get an achievement after defeating the first boss, the shark boss, no worries. That's because you don't get your first boss related achievement until you defeat the second boss. Again, you get them at the second boss, fourth boss, and then the sixth boss. Now, personally, this completion ended up taking me about 1 hour. I thought I was going to have all of the achievements by the time I defeated the sixth boss and got the last boss related achievement. However, after that boss, I still had 2 achievements left. I still had the achievement for collecting 250 diamonds, and then the achievement for collecting 30 Gashapon capsules. So with that being said, make sure that you're picking up as many diamonds as you can. That way you don't have to do any mopping up after you defeat that 6th boss. After you defeat this boss, his name is King Crunky, the Cloud boss. That's going to give you an achievement for 20 gamer score called King Crushed. Next, I want to point out an area in the 3rd level right before you face the 3rd boss. It's right here with this little UFO looking thing. Now, I thought that maybe you had to shoot him and then shrink down and dodge the bullets. However, it doesn't appear that that spaceship up there takes any damage. So I think really you just need to focus on shrinking down. Ultimately, you're going to get to the end of this hallway where you won't have to worry about that UFO ship or any more dodging bullets. You'll get a recharge on your shield. It'll recharge up 300 points. And then after that, the 3rd boss is going to lower down and we're going to have to defeat the 3rd boss. As mentioned before, there is no achievement or trophy related to the 3rd boss. Only on the even number bosses, 2, 4, and 6. No achievements on 1, 3, and 5. For this boss, you're definitely going to have to use your shrink down control. So I recommend pressing left trigger to shrink down whenever you're getting any projectiles close to you. Meanwhile, you want to be holding down the shoot button the whole time. Hopefully this whole time you haven't been spamming the shoot button. You guys can hold it down. Hopefully you guys figured that out by now. I probably should have mentioned that in the beginning. So yeah, ultimately I'd say my biggest tip or recommendation for this completion is to hold out until you find the Gashapon capsule for the bomb projectile. Once you have the bomb bullets, you're going to be able to breeze through all of the enemies pretty quickly. I mean, these bombs kill your enemy in like 1 or 2 hits at most. Bombs also really help defeat some of the later bosses really quickly. Much easier than having just your regular bullets. Alright guys, so now we're going to be headed to the 4th level. We do have an achievement for defeating the boss of this level. The boss's name is called Sticky Treat. Overall, I'd say this boss is pretty simple to defeat, especially if you have the bomb projectile. After you defeat this boss, you're going to unlock an achievement for 60 gamer score called Just Desserts. If you can't tell, you have to destroy all of the cinnamon rolls floating around the meteor, and then the meteor is going to turn into a giant cinnamon roll and you're going to have to destroy that after. As you can see, it is much easier to defeat the bosses if you have the bomb projectiles. Now, ultimately, we only have 3 achievements or trophies related to boss battles. We're about to get our 2nd one, and then we're going to be working on the 5th level and then the 6th level. The 6th level will have the last boss related achievement. Besides that, you should have already gotten your achievement for collecting 20 cakes. You're probably getting close to your 30 capsules, and you probably haven't got your 250 diamonds yet. So just try to focus on those in these last few levels. That way you don't have to do any mopping up after the 6th level. Now, this boss right here is the level 5 boss. This boss doesn't have an achievement or trophy related to it. However, I wanted to make sure to include footage of the in-between boss battles, not just the boss battles with the achievements or trophies linked to them. Because, who knows, you guys may be having trouble with any of these in-between bosses. Now, as you can see, I was able to defeat this boss a lot easier because I had the bombs. So that's why I was recommending earlier, once you get the bombs, make sure that you hold on to them and that you don't press X to activate any other capsules over your bomb capsule. Now, finally, we're moving on to the 6th level. This is the last level that we technically need to play in the game. Hopefully you have all of your other achievements by the time you end this level. Now, the boss at the end of this level is going to give us our last boss related achievement. The achievement is called Mechanoid for 100 gamer score for defeating the Mechanoid boss. Again, I can imagine this boss would be a lot harder if I didn't have the bombs. Luckily, I did have the bombs and it made the boss a lot easier to defeat quickly. Now, personally, after I defeated this boss, I still had to play for a few minutes because I hadn't reached the 250 diamonds quite yet, nor the 30 capsules, so I think I had to play this next level just a little bit to get those two other achievements. But other than that, it was a pretty easy full completion or platinum trophy. Ultimately, it ended up taking me just under an hour, about 55 minutes, to get the full 1000 gamer score. As always, I appreciate you guys tuning in. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment and don't forget to like and subscribe.